Yes, buddy, come here. You a good boy. Oh, you a good boy. Oh, are you making my phone talk? Oh, you got dirty. Sit. 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 Are you make me pet you? You can't do it. Sit. 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 If you sit, I will pet you. If you sit, I will pet you. If you sit, I will pet you. You gotta sit. Oh, no. No. Sit. Sit. Hi, y'all. I just had a quick... I need to say something really quick. Papa, can you stop it? Sit. This dog does not listen, y'all. He does not listen. Papa, sit. Sit. Oh, I haven't watched Elisa live in weeks at this point. Honestly. It's been a while. It's been a while. But I'm going to wait for people to get in here before I address something, because I don't know what all happened today. I had a little bit of a break. I did. This is something from a different side of TikTok that I want to talk about, but I'm looking for a screen recording so that I can elaborate. I'm hoping that somebody has it. Can you stop licking me, homie? No more. Well, I don't know, because I know when I join other people's boxes, like, it shows me live. So I just wanted to address something super fast, right? Because I got a little bit out of character. So I just wanted to take some accountability. I know people have a little bit of a problem with the things that was said, and I just want to make it clear, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I am not sorry. I meant what I said. Hi, taking trash out. And I don't feel bad, because the individual that I was speaking to drugged my dying mother. Okay? So therefore, right? Therefore, anytime I see her in a live, I'm going to tell her about herself, right? So, I might have told her to go swallow a handful of anti-anxiety meds, and I just wanted to let everybody know I meant every word I said. Every single word I said. So, if there's anybody that has a problem with that, you could go be friends with her and see how it ends. But I thought that Spanish Dad screen recorded it, and he did not. So I know that people are talking about it, so I just wanted to address it so that we could move on, right? Because I don't feel bad. And I know that people that know her, they know that she had it coming, right? She had it coming. I also don't really, hi Fuzz, I also don't talk about her much anymore, because she's like the gum that's stuck to the bottom of my shoe, right? Like, she doesn't deserve to be talked about. I'm also, hi Ella, thank you. I heard you. I heard you. Hold on. How are you feeling, Clover? I was just going to say that, Ella. You beat me to it. Good afternoon. It's almost evening. It's evening. I'm going to feed these animals and lay down. But I just wanted to address that super fast, because I know somebody made a comment on Reddit about what I said to her, and I am not sorry. I'm just not sorry. And if you don't know the kind of person that she is, then you probably shouldn't involve yourself, because she deserves everything said to her, right? It's crazy. People are crazy. You know what? I meant to write that letter that I gotta write for our friends. I meant to do that today, but I got a little distracted. Well, I mean, Mad Dog, what do you expect? Trash, right? It's just trash. She's trash. It's unfortunate, right? But I am hoping, I know I said this earlier, but I wasn't live for very long. I'm hoping I'm not going to be live this week because I really am trying to get the series out by the end of the week because I am fucking tired of looking at her face. Like, honestly, it is just like aggravating me, right? And the truth of it is, I know I said this before, but at some point, awareness becomes counterproductive, right? So I prefer to get the information out and then I move on, right? Because there are a million other people to cover. Granted, most of them are not as big a piece of shits like Victoria is, right? But for the most part, I have it done. I have it done. They are, and I know people were a little upset that I mentioned her in the video, and I feel sorry for those kids. I really do. It's gonna take a while for them to heal, and they have to separate themselves to heal, right? Hi. I know, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm not gonna stay long. Hi, Jess. Do you want to get in the box? I'm sure she is. But that's another one, right? Like, I don't really. It's so hard to explain, y'all, because I've been there, done that with this, right? It's not something that I wanted to come back to. Oh, you gonna come up? Did you mean to come up?
Hi, I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, I was typing out a message and then you were like, "Hey, do you want to?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure."
Yeah.
I was just in Lisa's live and I guess she like muted me or I don't know, filtered me something, but I still have her bag. Everything including these socks that are so important. So I'm free. I'm literally sitting at home watching trash TV. I could take her at any time. She lives less than 2 miles from the Greyhound station. She could walk there. There's a bus right out front of her apartment that would drop her off downtown. She does not need money.
You heard it. I mean, oh, Jeannie, I believe you. I believe you. And her mods are blocking her. That's shitty.
And everybody in the chat who says Jess is here, she's offering, they're either blocking or muting, deleting, whatever. I was in there, yes. I was trying to respond to people. She didn't block me. I'm shocked she didn't block me. But I still have her bag packed. I still have all the clothes, all the everything. And I'm sorry if you were talking about something else. I literally just popped
Oh,
in.
you're good. I think that yes, justice, sister. I think that I know I've mentioned this to you, right? Like how I think that she's gonna wait for the lock to come down, you know?
Yeah.
She's gonna wait until she doesn't have any more time, right? And
Which
I can't I did the same thing. I put treatment off as long as I fucking could, dude. So I can't that's hypocrisy if I said something, you know? So I get
yeah.
that.
And
But
I've stopped helping her. Like, I'm not taking her food. I'm not going over there, but I will drop her off at the Greyhound station if that's where she's going to treatment. And I still have the bag because I already spent the money getting things together. So I will happily drop it off for her. But I'm not going to enable her. I'm not taking her food. I'm not sending her money. I'm not taking her to get food. I'm not doing any of that. But if she's ready to go to treatment and she's actually going, I will take her because I told her a million times I would. I haven't changed my stance on that. I will drive her down the street if for some odd reason our legs don't work. But my dad being out of town, whether he's out of town or not, shouldn't matter of what she's doing. Like there's no reason to be on doing all of this. It's just unfortunately, in my opinion, another money grab.
it's unfortunate, right? Because she doesn't have guys. I'm talking about Jess, right? Like Jess is kind of and I see it in my own comments, so I understand. But Jess is not Lisa, right? And Jess has done everything that she possibly could. The rest is on Lisa. That has to come from her. It is not Jess's job to continue to alter her life because of Lisa, right? That's not fair. Like some people put unrealistic expectations on Jess when Lisa is a grown woman and she is going to do what she is going to do no matter what is involved in that.
Right. I can't hog tie her, put her in a hole, and get her off your internet. Like, I can't do that. I wish I could do that, but I can't. I can't go steal her phones. I can't cut her internet. I can't do any of that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I realize that a lot of people in their definition of what I was doing to help her was enabling her, and that's fine. I was trying to do what I was comfortable with that helped me sleep at night, which admittedly is a little bit selfish. I understand that. But at the same time, like, she's still a person and she's my sister. And it's a very fine line of what am I comfortable helping with, and what's going to actually be helpful to her. Me taking her food and doing all of that like regularly is just enabling her to use the money that she's getting for those things she shouldn't be buying. So
I think that you're pretty aware of, like, you're pretty aware of the situation, right?
right.
And I think that you have done everything that you can, and other people just need to. It's like she's in a lose-lose, y'all. She makes a video, she's called a cloud chaser. She doesn't make a video, and they're calling her job. Like, come on.
So
It,
if anybody happens to pop into her live, I know you, right as I got in, you said you weren't going to be on very long.
yeah.
Feel free to go over and get muted over there and just let them know that I will take her and I still have her bag. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why we're doing all of this, but I think it's just panic time. I think we're down to the wire, and I think we're just doing anything we can to get the money. And I'm not going to sit here and like try and stop people from sending her money. I'm not being over here like spread the word, don't do this. All I'm saying is if she was that intentional, if she was like, okay, this is it, I'm going, I got my ticket, I got this, all I need is an Uber ride. That woman has called me for dumber shit in the middle of the night, like popsicles. If this was that important, she would get dropped off. She would call me and say, I'm ready. Do you still have my bag? You told me 3 days ago you still have my bag. Let's go do that. If she was that serious about it, she would walk down the damn street, get on the bus, do whatever. And any of her damn neighbors would be happy to get rid of her. I'm sure they would drive her.
I think that that's another thing that people don't necessarily understand too, is that the amount of people that do offer, right? There are people that will not give Lisa money, but they do offer to Jess, and Jess says no. So there are people like making these assumptions when they honestly have no idea what goes on behind the scenes and off the app, right? Hi.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Jess. Good. How are you? I'll go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Is that okay? Because I just entered and I don't want to interrupt anything.
Good.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jess. How are you today?
I'm annoyed as all hell. How are you?
I can understand being annoyed, and I am so sorry for that.
You have nothing to be sorry for.
I know, but I know exactly what you're going through, and I just feel horrible for it. I really do.
Feel helpless, right?
Yes.
But there is nothing like coming from the other side of it, right? Like I have been both an addict and also an addict in recovery, but who loved an addict, right? So I know both sides, and I understand how it is difficult, right? It is a difficult situation, but the last thing that you need is people on an app judging you whether you do the right thing or not.
Yeah. And she has one of the strongest hearts that I have ever seen. She gets so much hate. She gets so much people just judging her for doing this or not doing this, or helping her or not helping her, or putting up boundaries or not putting up boundaries. And no matter what Jess does, it's never right. It's never right.
Can't win. It's crazy, and I was glad when I came. I don't know. It was a bit after we'd gone through like a bunch of different stuff, and then I came on TikTok and I saw a couple of posts like supporting Jess because they were trying to rip her apart, and it's like, come on, what, like, for what? They don't know. And I'll be honest, like, there were comments in my comments for days talking about Shadow and how he was passed away, and I'm like, what? Because I know I called that shelter because I would have driven to get the dog, right? So like people just run with things and they're wrong. They're so wrong. But
They
they
are.
don't care. They don't then apologize. I saw very few people apologize for the things that they said that were incorrect, right?
Yep. I
And
mean, Lisa's on right now yelling. She's literally on the other live right now just yelling.
Yeah, because I told people to go over there and be like, hey, you're lying. Jess will take you. And so she shut her comments off, and now she's just yelling.
Yep. Yep. But you know, Jess is no, Jess doesn't do this or Jess doesn't do that. No, Jess is awesome. Jess has a strong heart. Jess sets boundaries. And with addicts, you need to set boundaries. My sister, if for everybody that doesn't know, my sister is Kimberly Rhea. I have kept that quiet for a very long time, frauded her, and she can take her. She offered to take her. She offered, and
She won't let me take her, guys, because it's not needed. She doesn't need a ride.
she doesn't
she's
want to
still
go.
holding out for a backup plan, I think. I'm not going to say, but Jess, I do think you're right.
I'm not
I
perfect.
have a
I've made mistakes. I'm not sitting here like I'm right and she's wrong and I'm perfect. I'm not saying any of that. And I appreciate everybody saying all the nice things. I've definitely made mistakes and gone about things in this whole situation the wrong way, thinking it was the right way. But I've also apologized when I'm wrong. I've apologized when I've yelled at people. I have done my absolute best to stay true to myself and try and be as nice to people as I possibly can, while the absolute like vile things have been said to me. People have called my job. It's just weird, just absolute weird behavior. And, you know, it's all because I tell the truth. And she can have her supporters and you can want her to do well. And I want her to do well. I'm not, you know, enabling her anymore, though. I'm not coddling her anymore. And I'm not saying it's time for, you know, tough love or whatever. But what I am saying, and I have said this before, is I'm now in self-love. That's where I'm at. I'm in self-preservation mode because I cannot continue to put her above me. I will love her as best I can, but I can't love her for her. She needs to love herself. And whether she's down the street struggling or she's across the state in treatment, I'm going to love her the same. And what that looks like is me minding my own damn business. I'm not coming on here trying to, but she's saying I'm lying, that I didn't show up, that I was late. No, fuck that. I was never called. None of that. None of that happened. I took multiple days off of work to take her ass. She made up every excuse under the book. We didn't go. There was no instance of us driving across the state wasting a bunch of gas. It never happened. And I would have cleared that up a long time ago, but I just found out about it a few days ago. So no, that never happened. It's all a damn lie.
Thing that people don't know is that you were not around. You weren't on the app. Like you posted the video and then you took off. So people, and this happens with me too. So I get it. Like people think that like you're always seeing everything that's going on, and that is just not the case.
Correct. I'm finding out about a lot of things, about how I feel, what I think, what I've done, days later on TikTok. I have no idea why people think that some of the things they think are true are true. I'm sitting at home in my pajamas watching Mama June, Honey Boo Boo on TV because I got nothing else to do. I could very easily throw my damn slippers on and go get her and take her wherever. I'm not doing anything. But again, all she has to do is call. And I put that in her chat so many times. And like I said, I think she muted me. I wasn't blocked because I could still go in there. I don't know if I'm filtered. I don't know what.
She knows
But she's not going. She doesn't need a ride because the minute she needs anything, she blows my phone up.
The one thing that I will say, y'all, is so I've been thinking about this for a while. And if I thought that there was you guys got to stop going in there, right? People have to stop going in there because the more people that go in there, the more she gets pushed. Even if you're trolling her, right? Sorry. Even if you're trolling her, those increased comments are pushing her to the FYP, right? Everybody needs to just block it out. Do not watch. If you have to watch a replay, right? But when I tell you that is the best way to make a difference, right? It really is. Don't watch the lives.
But the problem is everybody likes to watch it because of how bad it is. It's like a train. It's like watching. Yeah, it's addicting to watch because you're watching her, and and it's sad to say is there literally people want to watch the slope that she's going down, and at the same time, I'm watching Jess struggle with watching yeah, it is a train wreck, you're right. And at the same time, Jess is over here watching it and distraught because she's watching her sister lose everything before her eyes with nothing she can do. There's nothing she can do about it. Nothing.
I
And
can't
it's not.
myself without I'm making excuses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I try and do something nice. I gave away a wedding dress. There's a whole damn account dedicated to me being a liar and a scammer. How the fuck am I a scammer when I'm giving away a $1,300 wedding dress? And all you had to do was give me your TikTok handle. Who's going to do with what? Hello?
You know what I find crazy? It's like you've never said anything other than the things that you say right now. You've always said, don't give her money. If you're talking like you have always said that. But people will still come up with the craziest shit just to have something to talk about.
And I've never accepted anything from anybody.
Ever.
I've never done anything. The
Ever. I
one
think
thing that I did for Jace was I put a link in my link tree for people to send him a virtual birthday card. Not even gift cards, a birthday card. And I got my ass reamed for that one. Like, I can't win.
And the worst part about that is she sent a virtual. She knows better than to send an actual gift card because she knows what's going to happen to that gift card.
Well, I had him
And
for his birthday, and when they came in, I gave him my iPad and was like, "Here, buddy, here's your birthday cards." He had a handful. He read them. People said very nice. Obviously, I looked at them to make sure they didn't say anything crazy, but you know, he was like, "Oh, that's really nice. That's really cool," because he thought that just everybody on the internet hated him and his mom, you know, because that's what he heard constantly. But he was like, "No, buddy, you have all this support. People love you, you know." And then that was it. We were done with it. But I was, you know, terrible. But whatever. So I've been waiting weeks to post. I mean, I told the winner who she was damn near a month and a half ago. She knows. I've been in constant contact with her. She knows what's going on. And I was like, don't worry, I'll post it. I'll announce it. You know, I'm just trying to get past this hump. But like, it just never ends. I post something. It's, oh, your sister's on death's door and you're worried about stickers. Okay, well, your kids are crying and they're dirty and you're worried about me. So how about you go deal with that?
And Jess has been over backwards as much as she can for Lisa. And Jess knows who I am. I sent Jace a gift card to when Jess took him to the place for his birthday. I'm the one that sent a gift card.
Yes.
And then Lisa tried to say that he never got the gift card and all this other stuff when she was on live all day.
Right. You watched him spend it live.
Yes. And just for her to say,
right.
And just for her to say that, it just, you know, proves she's any way she can, she's going to try to get money.
Right.
But people believe it.
Somebody just said that in the chat. I just want to be clear. As long as people are giving her money, y'all, she's going to keep coming back for more money.
And she's told you that out of her own mouth.
It's the platform that has to stop giving that. And it's a huge platform. I get that. But the less views, the less people, right? And at some point, the awareness people who are in there and commenting and trolling her, it's all increasing her views, pushing her to the FYP, bringing new people in who may not be aware, right? So all of it needs to stop. I agree the blackout meat, but it's unfortunately, I've been thinking about a way that it would be successful.
It does. It really does need to stop.
Many people right now with the rehab, it was the 302 and then the rehab, and it's so many people talking about it. We could not prevent it even if we wanted to. People are going to do what they're going to do. They shouldn't blame Jess for Lisa's actions. Ever. But they do.
I think at the very end of the day, regardless of if my dad's in town this weekend, when her last day in her apartment is, does she have food, does she need socks? These are all irrelevant questions to strangers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She's on this live, doing and saying all of these things that, like, when you turn the app off and put your phone down, it no longer matters to you, right? So I think if everybody just stops for a second and thinks, like, is this going to affect me tomorrow or 5 minutes from now? Like, yes, you have a big heart and you care what happens. And I love that. But you, again, cannot put her above yourself. You cannot lose sleep at night over someone who refuses to take basic care of themselves and to do the things they need to do. There are people that would kill to have the support and resources and things being thrown at her. There are people literally dying in the streets that want to go get treatment and they can't. They don't have the money. They don't have the contacts. They don't have the whatever. And she has squandered away multiple opportunities in the last 2 weeks. The truth of the matter is nobody can help her but her. Period. Nobody can. And the more we reach out and the more we try and help her, the more it spirals out of control. You want to stop seeing her? Stop commenting on videos that people are posting about her. Stop going into lives where people are talking about her. Go in and filter all the hashtags of her name, her accounts. Reset your algorithm. Reset your For You page. Move on with your life because you don't need an update on what she's doing. Nothing's going to change from today to even next week. You want to check in 6 months from now? Love that for you. But there's no reason every single day, other than someone like me making sure she's alive, that we should need to do that every single day. Like, I understand there's people that support her and love her, and there are people that just want to be trolls and a-holes on the internet. You can look at my last post. People send me disgusting messages all the time for no reason. But, like...
I saw that. I was so disturbed by that.
Oh, that's even one of the nice ones. I had to post one of the nice ones so that it didn't get taken down.
Jesus.
So real quick, I see people talking about me getting her into a treatment center. Let me just, for once and for all, let me say this again. I don't even know how many times, okay? I set her up with people who had connections, right? So that they can talk. Whatever happened after that, I got nothing to do with. So does that mean that one of those people that I connected her with did get her a bed? It could possibly be, absolutely. But that wasn't my business, so I never followed up about it, right? She said it, I don't know, but I don't know. And nobody can do it but her. That's the truth of it, y'all. And people that have been in active addiction, right? You know damn well that when you're ready, right? So it might sound crazy that she has lost everything and she's not ready, but if she was ready, she would walk to that bus station, and that I can assure you. Right.
Unfortunately, the reality of the situation is that, not everybody catches these lives, her lives. Not everybody can go back and know from the beginning what the truth is. People hear bits and pieces of things and they stitch things together and they make their own truth. I can't be trusted for whatever reason. Fine, don't trust me. But, like, shut up then. Move on. Like, I don't understand what this where in the world is Carmen Sandiego mentality that everybody has, that we have to fit all these pieces together for a random woman on the internet. But I don't understand it. And I'm not defending her. I have never co-signed any of the bullshit she's done. I don't.
Take it too far. That's
but, yes. And then they're looking into me and there's nothing to look at, but go ahead.
I mean, I live a pretty boring life, so.
Right.
You know what I mean? So but what I was trying to say is I don't know, right? Because whatever went on between her conversations with the people I connected her to, that's not my business, y'all. So I wasn't following up, seeing what was said. I wasn't doing any of that. Is it possible? It sure is. But if that person that I connected her to, if one of them want to come forward and say it was them, that's on them. I don't think they're gonna, because it's a violation of HIPAA, right? But that did happen. That I know for a fact did 1000% happen.
I think I have to leave and come right back. You guys are freezing on me.
Okay. Michelle, who follows me, keeps saying soapbox Jess. I don't know what you mean by that, but
yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean, Michelle?
I don't know. I know. I'm sorry. Thank you to my mods. Y'all are working more than you have ever, and I apologize. Hi.
Hi, thank you for letting me come up. I just wanted to say a couple things. So first, Jess, I'm very sorry about the hate that you're receiving. You shouldn't be receiving it. You are a loving sister who is just trying. I can't imagine being the daughter for your parents who are obviously going to be concerned about their other daughter. So I'm very sorry you're receiving the hate. And for anybody hating on her, y'all need to get a life. Like, find something else to do, go touch some grass, or else you're going to have the day you deserve. Now, I'm going to say something else. It is very hard for people to look away. I often say that watching her is like watching Jerry Springer or Maury. They were popular for a reason, and it's because people have a hard time turning away from what they consider to be a train wreck, right? It's almost like when you're on the highway and your lanes are slowing down, but the accident is on the other side. It's because people want to watch the train wreck. So I realize that it's probably going to be very hard to get most of the people to stop watching. So there was a poly couple on here that were very problematic. And in the black community, what they decided to do was, instead of having everybody in their live, they like designated 10 people, for instance, that were in the live, and everybody then watched the live through them. I don't know if that's something we could do. I don't even know if that's something we should do. But if the goal is to reduce her access, telling people to just stop watching her, I think at this point is probably unreasonable. People want to know what's going to happen. And I'll be honest, I'm one of the people, every day that she's like, I'm leaving tonight, I don't even go look for her because I'm like, she left tonight. And then something pops up and I realize she hasn't left. So I don't know if that's something that we could try to, as awareness people, get together and say, listen, we're not all going to go in the live, because as you said, every time somebody comments, it boosts her on the algorithm. Even if it's hate, it still boosts her on the algorithm. So that's all I wanted to say. Perhaps maybe there's something that could be done there, because that's what the black community did with that problematic poly couple.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Watch the replays, y'all. Because even if it's the more people watching, the more people commenting. And let's be real, if you're watching, it gets hard to hold your tongue, right? So you wind up commenting. And all that does is pushes it out.
And I think I try not to say anything. I struggle though, because I'm gonna be honest, I struggle, especially because you'll see the one that got me, and I can't even remember whose live this was in. I watched so many, but this old lady was like, I saved. It was either $20 or $40 to play bingo for my social security check, and she was like, I could send that. That is the person that I'm like, red light, screaming, waving my arms, keep your money, keep your money. And I think for some people, it's the train wreck. For some people, it is literally trying to prevent people from being taken advantage of. But where's the line? You know what I mean?
Well, right.
So
But even the people
that's
that
all I wanted to say.
check in with her, what are we checking in for? She's just yelling her payment apps over and over again. Nothing changes. There is no content.
Right.
It's just if you're not looking for what the Cash App is today, and you're not sending her money, then you don't need to know what it is.
I agree with you, except for the people who do show up and don't know the story. Like when I first saw her, my heart was bleeding. I just so happened to be broke that day, and so I couldn't help. But the first time I saw her, if I had the money, I absolutely would have helped her. The idea of someone being hungry as a mom, my son could call me right now, and if he's crying saying he's hungry, I will go borrow money to make sure that he's fed. So as a mom, I think I automatically have that feeling, and especially when she had Jace. But when Jay started to say stuff like get off the internet, get off TikTok, and I remember I think the turning point for me was when he was going to camp She said she needed stuff for the camp, and Jess, you went and got her all the stuff, and you posted a video, and it's like, this is all of the stuff he needs. And then she literally came back either that day or the next day saying she needed stuff for him. That was my turning point.
Right. But also, I feel like, and I'm very agitated, so please do not take my tone as directed towards you. It's genuinely not. It's just, I have a hard time coming down once I get to a certain point, so please don't think I'm being rude to you in any way. Anybody who can look at her and think that she is a well person is out of their mind. There's no way that you can look at her and think that she needs that much money sent to her every day. Nobody needs $30 every 3 hours. Nobody.
Correct. But you know what? She was healthier back then. And I said to myself, I was like, I think she was trying to hold herself together better when Jace was there.
For
because
sure, but we're talking
her
about now.
health has severely declined. I agree. But you want to know what else is happening though? Some people look at her in her current condition, and if you have no experience with an addict, you literally don't know. They look at her and they think she's thin like that because she's hungry. You understand what I'm saying? So some of it is literal ignorance. And I don't mean like they're stupid. I mean, they have no clue. My first interaction with with an addict was a boyfriend I had. I had no idea. And he was taking my car and giving it to rug dealers as a rental to give him rugs. And I still didn't know. It wasn't until later on when I forgot what happened, but I figured it out and I was like, oh my God, everything then started to make sense. So I had been a very sheltered person. I had no idea. I had never been around an addict before. So I think some of it is you look at her and she's crying and she's thin and she's gaunt and her skin doesn't have a lot of color. And you think, what can I do? And so I just listen, whatever you want people to do is what I think people should do, because you actually have a vested interest in what happens to her. And then I also think you need to say what you want to say, and everybody else could kick rocks. Yep. I wouldn't care about what anybody else had to say about me. I'm going to do me. You're grown. You have children of your own. You are not responsible for her, and you're not responsible for anybody else's feelings and choices. Just your own.
All I'm saying is if people look at her and think that she's skinny like that because she needs food, and they want to send her money before simply typing in or researching who she is, there has to be some responsibility on the individual people. It's not the awareness group's responsibility to warn anybody about anybody. It's nobody's responsibility but their own. And they're going to send their money if they want to. It's their money. And I agree. The people who are sending her the money and know where it's going and would say things to me like, oh, I would rather send it to her than her go out on the street corner, whatever. Okay, you know where your money's going. You're an adult. You do what you want. I don't care. I agree. I came on this app to try and stop people from being scammed out of their money. The problem is she mutes and blocks and filters in her chats. These comments are not getting through, but it's still pushing her out onto the For You page. So where everybody thinks they're helping, don't send money. She's on rugs. She's on this. She's doing this. It's not helping the situation. It's hurting.
Is that Lisa in the chat? Can a mod pin the account? Yeah, I know, Crimson.
The Lisa Richards, please help. I don't know if that's her. It's a newer account. I don't know if it's her.
I see it, but I think
not the one she was just on. I can tell you that.
Well, I'm going to drop down so someone else can. Thank you again for letting me come up. And just for people who are wondering, because I always say this, my name, I'm trying to bring awareness, but I kind of do sometimes I ask questions to make it obvious to other people that it's a scam. Sometimes I just say, before you give your money, look the person up. And that's all I say. I usually get blocked for saying that, but sorry about that. That was my other phone. But I just want to say this. My name is Digital Deceiver Shadow. Other people call them scammer. I call them digital deceivers because they're using the internet to get over on people that they wouldn't be able to otherwise. And I call myself their shadow because I want to stay on their neck. I want to be behind them everywhere they go to try to reduce this, because TikTok has gone from being fun to being a grift.
Agreed.
And I personally am tired of it. So that's so anyway, but my name is Lala for everybody
Yeah.
else. Thank you very much for letting me come up. And just like I said, tell other people to kick rocks.
Yeah, I agree. I do, Jess. I think that I was actually astounded, right? That people, that you've been loud about it, right? Stop giving her money. And I cannot imagine somebody's family telling me, don't do this, and me doing it anyway, right? Like, if the family who's known her entire life is telling you, please don't do this, and you're doing it, that's crazy to me. But then you want to have an opinion on the things that Jess does. It's crazy to me.
And I mean, you can have a difference of opinion. You can tell me that I'm doing it wrong. I'm fine with having a difference of opinion. I've actually learned a lot about addiction through all of this. I've connected with a lot of creators that have been in addiction themselves, or they're medical professionals that treat substance use disorder. And I went from tough love to, harm reduction to, where I'm at now. I understand there's room to grow, and there's a lot of things I don't know. I do not sit here and act like I know everything. I don't.
At all.
Point is, you do not need to be hateful. You do not need to message me that I should unalive myself because my sister still has a cell phone. That's insane.
And for everybody that's just coming in, this is Jess, is obviously Lisa's sister. Fight for Life is Kim's sister. I don't know. Is Kim also in active addiction? Or is she clean?
Yeah. No, she is obviously an active addiction. That's why she is helping Lisa, because she needs money as well. I have kept quiet about this. I'm fighting stage 4 cancer.
Oh.
A video came out a couple days ago that included my entire family and showed pictures of like me and Kim. It showed Kim's page. It showed me and Kim together. It showed my mom's page. It put a target on Lisa's head, and it had a message for Kim. And at the very last line, it said, "How is Dom?" And then it said something else, and then it said "Game over." And that's when I spoke, because it put eyes on my mom and it put eyes on her son. And at that point, I said that was it. That was it. I'm going live. I'm done. I've sat quietly. I've messaged, Kim is Lisa's mod. Kim Rhea, Lisa's mod. The one that helps her get the money, the one that makes the cash apps, the one that does all the stuff that she's supposed to be doing. And what she's doing is wrong. I've discreetly spoken with Jess a little bit, and I've apologized to Jess, because as much as she says it's not my fault, I feel bad, because if my sister wasn't doing as much as she is, Lisa wouldn't be as bad as she is. Even though they both have problems, it wouldn't be as bad as what it is. On Tuesday at 8 p.m., I'm going live on my page, and I'm going to explain everything that has happened since the day I found out that this started, when Fraud and Icky brought it to light, because we had no idea any of this was even going on.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Guys, stop saying that's Lisa in the chat. It's not Lisa. It's another account.
And
Yeah,
even
it's not
if it
Lisa.
was Lisa, I don't want anybody attacking her in these comments. We're not doing that. Sorry.
That's okay. I think Kim, I don't know how Kim and Lisa know each other. I'm assuming Kim was scrolling through live one day and noticed that Lisa was on and asking for money and said, "Hey, I have ways to help you. I can help you get this." That's my guess. And Kim's a scammer. She knows what she's doing. She's an addict, and she's been one for a very long time. Kim has
Sorry that you
denied
have to
being my
deal with
sister.
this.
Huh?
I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. It's like you have your own things to deal with, you know?
Yeah, well, I guess she's been, since I had come out and said something, she has said that, I'm not her sister and she doesn't know me.
Oh, been there.
Yeah.
Why do they always do that?
I don't know, but I have some pretty vulgar things and some proof that I can show, um, to prove that. But I will address every question that anybody has after I tell my story on Tuesday, because it's not fair to I see Jess posts and I see her comments that she posts and I love her attitude about it. She can make me laugh. Like, I mean, I no offense, Jess, but like the way she addresses some of these comments,
The snarkiness, I'm with it too, to be
it is
honest. I like it
hilarious.
too.
And she has such a strong attitude, and she does not deserve the amount of hate that she is getting. I don't deserve that. I'm not getting any hate.
At all.
I
I don't know
haven't.
why somebody I don't know why somebody would post your family or even her kid. Like why would anybody do that? It's Kim that is
Because,
here, y'all. Not her family, not her child.
right.
That's wrong. That is wrong.
And it was a warning. That video was a warning. It was a warning for Kim to stop helping Lisa. And it was a warning because if you watch, well, they actually took the video down because they're playing cat and mouse. So they post it, they take it down, they post it, take it down. I think they tagged my entire family in it, from California to Connecticut, from Florida up to Canada. And it's just disturbing. And at that point I said, that's it. It's time. I'm not holding back anymore. And a lot of people have questions. A lot of people have been very supportive. A lot of people have respected the fact that I have cancer and they're praying for me, and I appreciate it. And I haven't received any nasty comments. Some questions about Kim, and a lot of people have questions, and I can understand why you have questions. But Jess is also the sister of an addict, and Jess is getting the complete opposite reactions that I'm getting, and it's not okay. She doesn't deserve it. She sets boundaries. I love my sister. I absolutely love Kim, but Kim is gone. There is no Kim anymore. Kim is a shell. My sister is gone. The Kim that is on now is an addict. That is not my sister. The Lisa that Jess is seeing now is not the Lisa Jess knows. Lisa is, that's not, Jess wants Lisa back. I want Kim back, but we're not going to get our sisters back.
You can't
And
like compromise yourself waiting for that,
right,
right? Like
right.
you guys are not them. You guys are not responsible, should be held accountable. You're not doing the things that they're doing. You're not involved in the things that they're doing, right? So I don't understand what I don't understand, but I've seen some pretty nasty comments towards Jess specifically, but it isn't it's not Jess. Like, what is Jess supposed to do? Nobody, like, there's nothing. And anybody making these comments, I'm totally convinced that they just have no idea about addiction, because you cannot force, you can't love them to get sober. They will do what they're gonna do regardless of how you move.
I've tried loving her. I've tried begging her to get help. I've I've even done the tough love. Kim, when you are ready, I will come and pick you up and drive you to rehab. I will do what it takes. I will get you where you need to go. You know, there was a time where she begged me for months that she wanted help, and I had to patiently wait for the day that she said, okay, it's time. And I went and got her and I brought her, and that's when I started. But I couldn't watch her do what she was doing. I had to cut myself off because it was bringing me down. So when I see Jess on live, or I see her defending herself, it's not fair because she's not doing anything wrong. She's the sister of an addict, and she's doing the best that she can with dealing not only with her sister as an addict, but with having to deal with it herself. Yeah. You know? And then the hate on top of it is just absolute. Like, I can't believe how rude people can be to her. I'm mortified and disgusted because Jess has been amazing to me throughout this entire process. And there's only maybe 2 or 3 people that knew who I was. Everybody was very good and they kept my secret. They did not expose who I was because they know that I was fighting cancer and I was struggling, and I'm still fighting cancer. I literally had a biopsy on Monday and I'm waiting for the results to come in. And at the same time, I'm getting messages that this person's just got scammed out of this much money, or this person did this. And it's heartbreaking to see, and it does need to stop. They took one account down, but she's got more. As Jess said, everybody needs to stop watching and stop posting.
I appreciate, everybody saying all the nice things about me in the chat, or even like you ladies. I appreciate that. But I mean, I don't want to continue to do that because this will turn into they're just kissing her butt fest again. And, whatever. But, and also thank you for the gifts. I'm trying to make a dessert and I had my phone on the counter just listening. So I apologize. I wasn't seeing. I will be donating those as per usual. So thank you guys. It goes to Shatterproof. And there's a link in my bio if anybody wants to look at that. They basically have, trying to take the stigma away from mental health with substance abuse. So they, partner, they, believe that addicts also need mental health treatment. So it's a really great organization. So if anybody's interested in that, but that's where my gifts will be going as per usual.
Yeah, Jess is good. I wish people wouldn't do what they do because I think that people truly just don't understand. Not everybody, and it's hard for me to understand that too, right? Not everybody has experience with addiction, and these people are placing these unrealistic expectations on Jess, who has no control over it. None.
We can't force them to go to rehab. We can't force them to go to a hospital and get help. I mean, even if you get admitted against your will, there's a point where you could sign yourself out. I can't tell you how many times my sister's gone to a hospital. They've said, we're going to keep you. And she says, I want to go AMA. And she walks right out that door.
That's it.
Oh my God. Thank you. I'm not sure who sent that. I've never seen that one, but thank you. My God.
I love that one. I gift that one. For everybody that's asking, Fight for Life is Kim Rhea's sister. Kim Rhea is the one who is Lisa's mod, and she's the one that does the payment apps. She puts the payment apps in her name. That's her sister. So it's Lisa's sister and Kim's sister.
Yes.
And for those who just came in, I have no idea where my dad is this weekend. It was not my turn to watch him. I have no idea if she's going anywhere. I don't know if she has a ticket. All I know is I have a bag packed for treatment if she's ready to go, and with a full gas tank that I could drive her to the Greyhound station. No problem, but she hasn't called me. Jesus, what is that?
That is so cute.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. So whatever the story is of I just need an Uber to get to the Greyhound station. The Greyhound station's less than 2 miles from her house. Someone had said, it'd be dangerous to walk. No, it wouldn't. It's literally down a hill and across a bridge, and it's very walkable. You could get a bus right out front of your house. We've all heard the bus on her lives. It would take her right to downtown, and like a block away from the Greyhound station, and I would take her. So I don't think we need money for an Uber. I'm sure she is hungry. I don't know if she has food. But at the end of the day, I mean,
No,
I just think it's a money grab, honestly.
who would be giving back the money that they're sending? Not these women. These women are not responsible for any money that is given to Jessica. I mean, to Lisa. That's not their responsibility. That is
No,
not
it's
their
not.
responsibility.
Our responsibility is to be there for when they want help and if they want help, and if we can give them the help when they're ready to do it, but they have to want to do it. And we have to be strong enough to set the boundaries and say, we're not doing this anymore.
That's right. That's right. And yes, the lanterns do need batteries, just so everybody knows. I did ask Jess that. Wait, I think I was still covering Lisa actually when I asked that question, and she did confirm they do need batteries, but please don't send the money for them. Okay?
I mean, someone told me once that anything you contribute to an addict, whether you buy them food, whether you take them places, whether you buy them clothes, is giving them more money to use on their rug of choice.
And that's true. That's true.
So you have to be careful with all that stuff too. And if you ever notice, it's always, I need $30 or I need $20 or the amount never changes. It doesn't change. There's a reason that amount doesn't change. She's not saying I need $2 for this. Okay, I just want to go buy a soda. It's, I need $30 because that's how much it costs to get what they want. And people are giving her what they're doing it, and then on top of it, they keep going and they don't know when to stop. And any questions regarding Kim, I will address on Saturday. I mean, on Tuesday, 8 p.m.
8 o'clock, right? Is that Eastern? I don't know. Where you're
Yeah.
Okay.
At 8 o'clock Tuesday, Eastern time on my page, I will be going live.
I agree, right? And I know I've said this in videos before. When I was in active addiction for a bit, my DOC was the same as Lisa's, right? I didn't eat for weeks, okay? There's no way that she is eating $90 in food every day and losing the amount of weight that she's losing. So let's use our thinking caps, y'all, right?
Yeah.
Let's use our thinking caps. I think that she has to. Jess, you said Sunday at midnight. Is that what you said?
That's what she said. I'm not honestly sure.
Okay. So
I thought it was today at midnight, but I don't know.
Yeah, she said something like Sunday at 12:01 a.m. So I don't know if she means like tonight at 12:01 or like she has until tomorrow night at midnight. I don't know.
I do think that. I think that Victoria gets a lot of. I think that Victoria and Kim are on the same level, right? They both did the same thing.
I don't know if they're still helping each other. I don't.
Right.
Oh, they are.
They are.
Oh, they are. Come on. Yeah.
See, I don't know if I wish I knew, but I don't know. I mean, maybe is Kim in a position where Lisa can live with her? That's a really good question. We're going to have to find out in a couple days now, won't we?
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's where that bus ticket's going.
Yeah, maybe.
I really hope not.
Yeah. I mean, people keep saying rehabs will pick you up, rehabs will pick you up. The last time Lisa went to a specific treatment center, they did send her on a Greyhound. They sent her a Greyhound ticket and she got on it and went out there from, here because it's so far away. They did do that. So I don't know if she's just using that information. I don't know if that has changed. It's been years since as she's been there. I don't know. But, that whole problem could have been solved by getting in my car and being dropped off. Like, we're forgetting that a week ago, we should already be a week in, right? So it's a little bit of tough love. Everyone keeps telling me tough love, tough love. Okay, let me challenge you, tough love. It doesn't matter if she needs an Uber. She should be there a week ago. And we shouldn't have to worry about Ubers and Greyhounds and any other form of plane, train, or automobile. We would already be there.
I think that's the thing, right? Like Jess has already taken. I did see a comment, something about that. Well, why can't her sister take up? Jess has already taken 2 days off work to do that, and it wound up not happening. So no, Jess shouldn't have to take another day off work when it should have been done, right? That's unfair. I'm sorry, y'all. These comments, I just can't. I can't keep up. Right. She shouldn't, and she shouldn't.
It's really hard. I love my sister. I want to see her clean, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
There's nothing that, like, I could not get clean for my children. I could not get clean for my job. I could not get clean in my marriage. Like, I had to want to get clean for me, or else I didn't stay clean. It's just the truth of it. And I will tell you this, right? When I was ready to get clean, I would go to any lengths, right? They tell you that you have to chase sobriety the way you chase the drug.
Yeah.
We all know that she'll walk anywhere for the DOC, right? It should be the same for treatment.
It should, you're right. But, I mean, treatment's offered. You can go anytime you want.
That's right. That's right.
When you're ready, you're ready.
And she, listen, it's like, speaking from like an addict's point of view, I do think that she wants to get clean, right? I do believe that. I do believe, I'm talking about Lisa because I really don't have experience with Kim, right? I do believe that she wants to get clean. She just doesn't know how to stop. She is in a situation that everything has fallen apart. Everything is just complete and utter devastation, right? And that's how I was. Like, I was done. I didn't want to continue doing what I was doing, but I did not know how to. However, what I will say is that she knows damn well that there are people that will help that, right? Like, there are people that will help her navigate that, but she doesn't reach out to them, like, it's unfortunate. You might be right. Too bad. I'm sorry. I think that was your ad. This is flying, y'all. So I apologize. I was talking about something else, and we just kind of came here.
I know, as per usual, I ruin everything.
No, I don't
No,
mean it
you
like
don't
that.
mean
I'm just
anything.
saying it was the opposite, because we had talked about this.
Yeah.
We had talked about doing this, and it just kind of came up, right? Like,
But also, I just looked at what time it is. If my dad were to be out of town and went to the car auction, he would not still be there for this long. He goes very early in the morning. He is an elderly disabled man, and he does not stay there overnight. So he would be back by the time somebody would need to catch a Greyhound at 11:30 at night. So regardless of whether or not he's out of town, that doesn't stop me or her legs. I don't know. Just...
I do believe that too. I'm sorry, I'm trying to buckle up. I do believe that, right? I do believe, because I couldn't, when I was like towards the end of my addiction, there were things that I was not able to focus on, right? And if I was sober, I couldn't deal with those emotions. I didn't have the tools, the coping mechanisms to deal with the feelings that I was feeling, so I just continued using. That might be factual. I don't know. I don't, I know I don't have like all this experience. I honestly have talked to Jess more than I've talked to Lisa ever. So I don't know. And that's true too, right? So many addicts I see on this platform, and that they are offered any resources, right? They are offered more things than I have seen any addict ever be offered anywhere. But if they don't want it, they don't want it. And that's just the sad truth of it. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Kat, I'm not going to answer that question. I'm sorry. That is something that you will have to ask her.
I didn't see it. The comments are really flying by, but exactly, Angela, and I understand that. I understand that when she's sober, I'm sure it is really overwhelming to deal with the damage that has been caused, right? It might be she's unable to face it, right? But there's no other way to do it except through. That's just the truth of it. You're either going to get clean or you're going to die in the street. It's one or the other.
At Diva Rebel, I'm going to go live Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, Tuesday, 8 p.m. on this account, right? I don't know if you have another one.
On Fight for Life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Also, I would appreciate it if people understand that they are not them. I'm just going to reiterate. They are not Lisa. They are not Kim. Okay? Let's try to keep it that they're not responsible for their choices.
Lisa's not going to get help until Kim is out of her life. And they both are enabling each other. I kind of disagree with you on that, because whether Kim was in her life or not, Lisa's going to get help when Lisa wants to get help. If whether Lisa was out of Kim's life, if Kim wanted to get help, she would get help. They're not going to get help together, and they're not going to get help separately. They're going to get help only when they're ready and if they want to be ready. That's the only time they will ever decide to do it, and they have to want to do it. You can't push them to do it.
It's like a toxic relationship right now, y'all, right? Like they kind of feed off of one another. But they are the only ones that can do anything about it.
But I didn't come on here to discuss Kim. I came on here because I have been seeing everything that Jess has been going through. I see the hate that she gets comments for, and it's disturbing to me. And I will speak about Kim Tuesday at 8 p.m. on my page. I'm sorry, I'm not, I love her. She's my sister, but Kim is an active addiction. Addicts aren't, I don't know how to explain it. I will always love her, but you have to set strong boundaries.
Also, because I think that even if you understand loving an addict or you understand addiction, nobody understands what you two, right? Like dealing with it on the level of internet and all the shit that comes with it. You two have each other for that, and that's a blessing.
The only reason why I even came out and spoke is because of the video that I received. Because of the video that added, that put eyes on people, that brought attention, that the video should have never been made. Whoever made that video obviously pissed them off, because they put a target on Lisa's head. They exposed Kim even more, her Instagram. They exposed me and Kim together. They exposed Lisa, put a target on her head, and then they put a message in there with her son's name on it and asked how he was, and then said game over. If Kim loved her son, she would have stopped, because I saw that video. You would think that they would want to stop. The video was taken down. I did screen record it, and I will play it on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time because I was mortified about it. Mortified. When that video came out and it said game over, that made me realize that my nephew was in danger. That put him in danger. If Kim wants to deny that I'm her sister, she could deny that I'm her sister. But at the end of the day, she is my sister.
Nobody should be doing that. And listen, I understand that what they're doing is wrong, right? Nobody is going to say that what they're doing is at all right, fair, none of that, right? Her family is not doing that. Her family is not doing that. So the family should not be doing that. Nobody should be threatening the family. Nobody should be doing any of that, y'all.
I mean, you don't post pictures of kids. Like, people say kids, keep kids out of this, right? But a picture of her child showed up on that. A picture of my child and her child showed up on that video.
Oh, your kid too?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what was that's what upsets me the most about it. That's what made me talk, because not only did I stayed quiet the entire time, but the day that video came out was the day I said I'm done. That's it.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair.
And then when you end a live with how is Dom, game over, after they just put a target on someone's head, no.
That's not
I'm
right.
sorry.
I'm sorry. Nobody should do stuff like that. That is not fair. Yeah,
No, that's not.
Jess has been clear about it the entire time, right? Jess has always said, don't give her money, don't do this, don't do that. People just take bits and pieces of what they want to hear and then just run with it. It's truly the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Jess is an amazing person. I've been following her silently for a long time. I've seen what she's going through. I watch her comments to people's snarky, rude comments to her. And she doesn't deserve it. You know, if she helps her, she's doing too much. If she doesn't help her, she's not doing enough.
Meredith, Lisa is a grown woman. Nobody has the answer to that except Lisa, right? It isn't Jess. Jess's job is not to it's not her job to explain anything about Lisa.
Babe, you're wasting your breath. That person has less brain cells than followers. They're one of the people that I've already responded to. I don't know if they're one of Lisa's enablers. I don't know. They're just miserable, and who cares? Just honestly, don't waste your breath. I mean, you're welcome. This is your page. You can do whatever you want, but
you're good. You're good. I don't know. I mean,
that's a name I won't forget, unfortunately. So
yeah, it's not gonna go well here, because we're not gonna let you just shit talk her, and that's not right. That's not right. So if
the animals and the kids were left there, Mary Beth, because it's illegal to break in and steal people's things. That's the easy. I hope that's simple enough for you to understand 15 times later, but I don't know.
I mean, maybe you could go try to do what everybody else can't do. You know?
Right.
People never cease to amaze me on this app, y'all. I think she said Dom. I appreciate you, Finds Out. I know you're working overtime, and I appreciate you. I think the name that she said was not Don, and it was the name of somebody's child, and we're just going to not say it again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because I prefer to leave that not on here.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that. I don't necessarily, it's not my thing. It's not what I like to talk about. You brought it up. It's your family. You could do as you wish, but other people.
No, I just wanted to make it known that video came out, and that's why I decided to speak, and that's why I'm deciding to address this, because I want this to be done once and for all.
Well, don't worry. You'll be a clout chaser by morning. It's fine. But I'm going to go finish my dessert.
I'm going to end too, because literally, I came on just to say, I'm sorry for anybody that had to hear me in the live today talk the way I did, because it's not really the way that I normally talk, but that person deserved it, right? And if you don't know why the person deserved it, it's because they chose to drag my dying mother for 6 months.
Yes, thank you.
Oh.
You guys are cute. Thank you. Thank you guys for all the
Hope
gifts.
everybody has a good night, and I will see y'all soon. Jess, I'm sure I'll talk to you sooner.
And I will be posting proof, obviously, of when I make my donation. So when I cash out my gifts, you guys will see it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
And for everybody else, we'll see you guys Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Follow this page, that page that she was just on. Follow, and she'll be Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Okay? Everybody
Bye,
have a
Billy.
good night.
You too.
Bye.